service grant from the National Endowment for the Arts and Bristol Myers Company in association with its divisions.
Yeah. All rise, open your eyes, no need to explain. I got a homie from the east and I'ma tell you his name. Never hang around lames, that's a part of his game. And if you show deep respect, he'll show you the same. Jeff undercard boxing, shook the world when he came. A lot of cats is playing, but his hands are insane. You can get steamrolled if you stand in the way. He a yardie from Flatbush, you cowards his cat puss. We used to feud like Bishop and Q, but he'll fuck you up quick if I give him the cue. From the city of Midwood, the south central part of New York, next to Bensonhurst and Borough Park. If it's a problem, don't even say shit. Just face this when you come across the Bay Bridge. No tolerance for BS or fake kids. Your blood clot crying. Just stop trying. Is Jeff Undercard prepared for the assignment? He bringing a appliance so cowards can't fight it. He might yoke you up if he feels slighted. He's spreading out toxins. It's undercard boxing. Yeah. Mad love and respect to my brother, man. From the motherland, word him up.
What's going on, fight fans? KOG. Salute to you, big bro. Thank you for checking in. Freddie Food King. Right now, we're about to go over the undercard, the two state fights that's going on this Saturday. We have just for anyone who was not informed, Emmanuel Stanionis versus Virgil Ortiz has been canceled. Virgil Ortiz passed out prior to making the weigh-in, or prior to, let's say, the press conference to announce this fight, so they postponed it. Postponement means that they're going to try once again to give it a new date. This is the third time that this fight has been canceled. Once, Stanionis had to have surgery, and twice, Virgil Ortiz had to pull out the fight. This is a fight ordered by the WBA, so there is some kind of ramification because, as you know, the WBA regular has the mandatory. So Virgil Ortiz stepped into that spot, and that's why they keep trying to make this fight happen, instead of allowing Emmanuel Stanionis to move on and fight someone else and to keep collecting a paycheck. He's probably going to be out the ring for about 1.5 years now. And hopefully this fight does take place and they do get this fight on, because everyone sees this as a 50-50 fight between Virgil Ortiz and Stanionis. I feel it is also. And I think Stanionis has the ability to not only outbox Virgil Ortiz, but can crack him and hit him with enough stuff to keep him off. Virgil Ortiz is a power puncher. He's had 19 fights, 19 KOs. He's one of 3 fighters in boxing right now with a perfect KO ratio. But I think he has some flaws when someone tries to box him. When I saw the McKinnison fight, when he was getting frustrated because the guy wouldn't stand still and just trade blows with him, I think that's something that can be utilized in the future to get over on Virgil Ortiz. But obviously, you have to do it. Obviously, he is no walk in the park. He's put down every single opponent that stepped in the ring with him. This is a major step up in competition for him, and we hope him well. We hope that he gets well soon and that he can return to boxing, whether it's at 147, whether it's at 154, whether it's at 160. The first and most important thing is his health. So we send prayers out to Virgil Ortiz. They did not confirm exactly why this time he had to pull out. Everyone's assuming that it's the same condition that's been going on with his blood, but we don't know that for sure. They said dehydration and trying to lose weight is why he had to pull out of this fight. So I'm not going to speculate and say that I know exactly what the condition is. Virgil has his promoter, Oscar Oscar De La Hoya spoke on the behalf of Ortiz. Mike Kirkland, what's good, bro? Yeah, I'm early, bro. And people are like, yo, Cam, why you get up so early and cook? Because these cards are coming on sometimes in a matter of moments, sometimes later on in the day. I just want to get you guys the information pertaining to the fight cards, who's on it, and then for the rest of your day, we have so much other boxing to listen to. We got for now, we got so many other people that is going to give us a little bit more. I just want to, find my little niche. My thing is, I'm gonna get up in the morning. I'm gonna break down the undercards. I probably start at 8 o'clock though. Maybe 8 o'clock is a little bit better because I probably need to stretch myself out. But yeah. So just giving everyone an update. The Stanionis versus Virgil Ortiz is postponed. Postponed meaning they're gonna try once again to give it a new date. Maybe sometime in July. Maybe towards the end of July. So let's go with the original card. On the undercard, we have Darius Fulgham versus Jeremiah Cutright. This is a 4-round light heavyweight fight. You have Tristan Caltru versus Joe Jones, 6 cruiserweight fight. You have Eric Trudeau versus Reggie Harris Jr., junior middleweight fight. And for those listening, you also have Jojo Diaz Jr., who missed weight. I mean, Golden Boy, it feels like it's being held at the seams with Band-Aid. That money that they made from the Ryan versus Tank fight is literally sustaining the entire company. You have, and not saying this is related to Ortiz not being able to make the fight, but you had Zerto Ramirez overweight for a fight. You've had a number of other fighters who, under the Golden Boy stable, know that they have a fight coming and miss weight so bad that the entire fight in itself had to be scrapped. I don't want to go down and throw dirt, but I don't see other. I've seen it happen with Matchroom and Golden Boy, both who are shown on the zone. But at the PBC, when there's a fight, I've never seen guys way overweight where that bout can't go. I've even seen it happen on Top Rank, where guys. Now I know there's a science to it. There's a skill to making weight, but part of your job as a professional athlete or as a boxer is making weight and showing up to the ring on weight and ready to fight. Imagine someone paid money for you specifically because they thought you were going to be on the card. They've spent their money. They went out and did all the hard work. They show up, and you, the professional, are not taking part in today's events because you chose not to be disciplined and miss weight. But Jojo Diaz missed weight. He's fighting Jerry Perez, 10-round lightweight. Excuse me. There's also Marlene España versus Gabrielle Alina for España's WBA and WBC title. So this is a unification. And Alina WBO title. Who that? Just do boxing coming through on the clutch. What's good, OG? How you doing? Salute, famo. Respect that. So Marlene España, she pretty much was chosen to be the rising star or the young lady over at Golden Boy, and hopefully that's a fight that we eventually get to see whether they'll Golden Boy or if one becomes a free agent and they make that fight happen. I think that would be good for the sport of boxing. And so the main event now is Floyd Schofield. Shine out the just do. I see that. Yep. You got Floyd Schofield. This is a 10-round light fight. He's stepping up in competition. Let's see what does this guy have to offer. Floyd Schofield. Give me 1 second, fellas. What I'm going to try to do soon is share the split screen. So he's 14-0. He has Floyd Schofield. He has 11 KOs. He is a heavy puncher. This fight is in San Antonio, Texas. I heard something yesterday that I was a little shocked by when I heard that Phil and his dad was homeless until he found boxing. I give a lot of respect to that gentleman for how him and his dad carry himself. They always say what is necessary. No. So this guy is 28-4-1. He got TKO'd by Jason Sosa. He lost to Omar Douglas, Edgar Cherry, Sergey Lipinets. Man, Sergey Lipinets been cracking shit all his life, man. They ain't a dude Sergey Lipinets ain't beat up yet. So that, I mean, when I see like name recognition, he lost the UD to Sergey Lipinets. He's only been stopped once. He's only been KO'd once. So this is a good test. 28 fights, which means the guy has a lot more experience than Floyd Schofield. Floyd Schofield, if for those who don't know, upcoming prospect, making a lot of noise, doing what a lot of the guys behind him did, Devin Haney, Shakur, which is went to go get elite sparring with the elites in boxing in order for him to prove himself. And he's taken it a little far by, speaking on sparring, thinking that by sparring the elite guys, that means that when they step in the ring together, he has a chance of beating them. I mean, I'm not going to stop your confidence and say that you can't, but that's how he's building his name, and he's being recognized for that. And Floyd Schofield, he has flaws. He has things that he needs to work on. Hopefully, over at Golden Boy, they're moving him correctly to the point where they can do some kind of cross promotion. He can fight. He's been calling out Keyshawn. There's a lot of lightweights right now, or a lot of guys in and out of that division. He's still a prospect. I wouldn't move him up to contender yet. He hasn't beaten anyone necessarily with name recognition or a former title holder for him to be in that contender level. But a prospect with 14 fights, with a lot of opportunities in his future coming up, I think that's a good place to be. I think that's it's great for him. It's great for Golden Boy. I mean, if you got two guys in the same stable, why not make JoJo versus Floyd Schofield? It just seems like JoJo, former champion, definitely name recognition, and a fight like that would probably sell. And but maybe they don't want to use the young kid to beat up on the older JoJo Diaz as a stepping stone. But when you mix people, why have two guys fighting division under the same banner and not fighting one another? That's why we have so many complaints as boxing fans, where when you see PBC structure, if a guy's at 154, another guy's at 154, one of these two is the best coming up. They do that because why waste time cherry picking, giving us, all right, let's give him food over here, let's give him food over here. No, listen, I think if you guys can sign on this contract, make this thing happen, this would be beneficial for both you guys. You guys can get paid a good significant amount of money, and the winner or the loser doesn't go anywhere. The winner might make another step up fight to make more money, and the person who loses will build you back up, because everyone wants to see a rematch. Everyone wants to see fights one or two times if the fight was good. So over at the PBC, they do things a little different. We all see it. We all recognize it. And we're just grateful for the sport of boxing for putting on good cards. So that's what's going on this week. That is the DAZN card. It's going to be, the DAZN card starts at 7 p.m. The prelim, as you guys know, will be on YouTube, which is probably most of the undercard fights. And from there, you'll be able to click over to DAZN, watch the 3 fight cards where you have JoJo Diaz, Marlene Esparza, and Floyd Schofield. I guess I'll call them the A side in this. Just the betting favorites. Sounds good for a little parlay. I'm not going to trust JoJo Diaz, though. First, he missed weight. And let me do a little bit of research of Jerry Perez. Let's see if the guy's ranked 128 at lightweight. So Jerry Perez, he's 14-2 with 11 KOs, so he can crack. He actually lost to Michael Rivera and Frank Martin. Wow, two PBC fighters. So, wow. Giovanni Gonzalez. Giovanni Gonzalez, the guy fighting. Yeah, so so he has two losses, and both of them came against I'm gonna say, which it might not be elites at the lightweight level. Michelle Rivera, and then Frank Martin. Frank Martin TKO'd him. Michael Rivera UD'd him. So this guy, I don't know. This could be an upset, and I don't know what a loss does to Jojo Diaz's career. I think he's re-signed with the Zone. So that they're using his namesake, his cachet, his essence to move forward as to what's going on next. So hopefully, like I said, you can make a fight with Floyd Schofield versus the likes of Jojo Diaz, because that guy gives him everything he needs as it pertains to a former champion, experience. Jojo Diaz is ranked number 21. Floyd Schofield is ranked number 103 at lightweight. So I think that's a good cross matchup if both guys are interested in the fight. I know that Floyd Schofield likes to scream that he wants everyone else on the other side of the, boxing spectrum. But it's time to start making some good in-house fights, get the fans excited. You don't got to put it on pay-per-view. You can still, that could even be a co-main event fight, on something bigger. Before I get to the Boots versus Villa fight card, I heard or I read, and according to Samson Leskowitz, David Morrell and David Benavidez is signed, and the date is September, October. Now, Campbell, you capping. Campbell, you making stuff up. That don't make any sense. David Benavidez said he gonna fight Jaime Munguia. Samson Leskowitz is the promoter of, I believe, both fighters. If he's going to put out information out there, we're gonna have to take it as real, or on good faith. I can't go and say that the manager of both these dudes is capping or making stuff up, or is just saying stuff just to keep David Benavidez and David Morrell's name out in the media. I think because he is promoting Roman Villa on this Boots card, so they had access to speak to him. And Samson Leskowitz has been pretty straightforward. He's actually, I think, really good for the sport of boxing. He's always bringing up fighters who cause an upset, who don't, follow the right, go with the apple cart, the favorite. If you see a guy on short day notice, and the guy he's fighting is signed to Samson Leskowitz. What up, Mike? Hope that fight happens between the Davids. Exactly, bro. Like, the Davids need to fight. 9-0 versus 21. Let me see. Hold on. Let me check something. David Benavidez. Okay. 26 years old. Come on. I know you want another bag, because we know that pay-per-view didn't do as well as you thought it would. So it's only right that that we get you another fight, get you back into the ring, and get you start making some more money. So he has 27 fights. He's 23 with 23 knockouts. Right? He's 26 years old. Let me go to David Morrell. One second. I'm looking as I'm talking. Exactly. I think that fight definitely needs to happen, man. We need to prove who is going to be the guy at 168 moving forward. And once again, like I just stated, you're not going to have two guys in the same weight division and dancing around each other for time after time after time. It's necessary for them to get into the ring, fight, let the fans see, because whoever pops out, you can make a star. And once again, the loser doesn't disappear. He can be built back up to eventually go in the ring and take on the likes of whoever's they consider to be the champion at the time. So David Morrell is 9-0. How old is this guy? He even fought at light heavyweight. Holy shit. That's scary. Wow. David Morrell won gold at the U Championship at light heavyweight and the Cuban Nationals at light heavyweight. which means he's literally sucking his body down to make 168 when his natural weight that he's been fighting at in the amateurs is he's 25. You have a 25-year-old and a 26-year-old both at the same weight class. It only makes sense to get them in the ring to fight each other. I think that's good business, you know. The pay-per-view for Plant versus David Benavidez, no one knows those numbers, but I think it's good for the sport of boxing if these guys get in the ring, fight one another, and whoever comes out, think about it. The winner can then maybe be ordered by the sanctioning bodies to fight Canelo after he's done fought Jermell Charlo, which once again I just want to say that's an amazing fight. The PBC is on fire right now. We have fights all the way up to September, and we got October, November, December of fights that still haven't been announced. The docket for people, like the way they release their stuff is so strategic, so like they don't really let anything out the bag. They wait and wait and wait, and maybe when there's a fight card happening, that's when you'll see that they'll add 2 or 3 more cards onto the schedule just to give you a heads up of what's taking place. Like we have fights all the way up to September 30th, which I guess is the end of the month of September. And in between that, there is just so many interesting 50-50, don't know the outcome fights that's happening. And I'm saluting boxing for giving us those fights. Next week, excuse me. I didn't go over the Villa versus Boots yet, but just looking at the schedule, you have the Alicia Bumgarner versus Lindora, the last person to beat her. Now, Montana Love versus Hitchison was canceled off that card, but you also have Jermaine Franklin on that undercard as well. That's funny because they also have the debut of Andy Cruz on that card as well. It's better business. Let me read that to Mike Kirkland. And if you guys can, please try to support the channel via the Cash App. It's better business for Morrell than Benavidez. Benavidez more known than Morrell. In terms of popularity, Mike Kirkland, I think it's the same. Now, I thought we all thought that David Benavidez took a big boost when Mike Tyson nicknamed him the Mexican Monster. We thought an endorsement for the likes of the great Iron Mike Tyson was the fuel. But when they saw his performance versus Caleb Plant, not saying he did bad, but you saw weaknesses in his game where he could be outboxed. If you can move and punch, David Benavidez is not that, come forward train that's just going to run you over. His performance or the buildup didn't necessarily lead to dollar signs, where you have David Morrell, who has been fighting in Minneapolis, and every time he fights, he sells out. Now, I know the gate doesn't equate to pay-per-view, but they say they usually put fights on pay-per-view. Salute to manager Marty. They put fights on pay-per-view because these guys are ticket sellers. If you can get people to come to your events and you can sell out when you are the fight, the main card, and everyone, you can pack the stadium. We're going to see how Boots do this week in his, let's call it homecoming fight in Atlantic City, a place that they haven't had boxing for a while. Once you're a good ticket seller, then they put those fights on pay-per-views because they know that people will show up at the gate, a la Errol Spence, a la Tank Davidson's, a la Deontay Wilder. They are great ticket sellers, and because of that, what they do is, if people are going to people are going to spend their money to be at the event, to sit down and watch every fight on that card, or they buy the ticket and they show up right before you go on stage to perform, then we're going to put that on pay-per-view because this place is packed and we need more eyes on the television to see what you do. Like to me, it's just my opinion, Shakur Stevenson can be a pay-per-view star. I've been to 3 fights at the Prudential Center, and each time that he's had a fight, he's opened up more of the arena because he consistently sells it out. I know I'm not even going to go into the negotiations between Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson. I hear people calling him a duck. I hear people saying he's ungrateful, he's selfish. My opinion on it is this. It's the first offer made. I believe I am who I am. Why am I not allowed to make a counter offer? Why am I not able to just discuss with you? I don't know why it's being done in the public eye. Maybe he was trying to shame Devin Haney by talking about the 25% split. I don't know. I don't care. I want to see this fight. Devin Haney versus Shakur is a fight that it's worthy of pay-per-view. Oh, but their styles are so... No, they sell because Shakur has an entire city behind him. Devin Haney, I'm not sure if that's the case, but I'm hopeful that them two coming together, them having a whole bunch of stories to share with us about what took place in the amateurs when they were younger. It's a great buildup because it's like, that friend that you were one class ahead or one class behind, and for the years you just chased after him, and eventually now you get to see who's the best competition. So went off a little tangent there. So you got July 15th. Also, you have Martin versus Hartung, a former bronze medalist in the Olympics. You have Nonito Donaire. You have Elvis Rodriguez versus Victor Postal. That's also on Showtime. I'm just telling you, like, it is stacked, and it's stacked to a point where it's like, I'm just grateful. I wonder if anyone caught the Diego Pacheco fight last night on DAZN. If you guys have your DAZN subscription, you guys got to tap in so that way we can, you guys can see, because they'll put up fights. I didn't see a press conference for that fight in Mexico. I didn't see a weigh-in for the fight in Mexico. All I saw was that they were fighting. But if you guys tap in with Undercard and Boxing, I usually post all the fights in my community page. I'm gonna start making videos for each and every fight card, but sometimes there be 6-7 fight cards on one thing, and it's really difficult to do 7 to 8 videos of just fight cards. But I'm gonna try to be more consistent. I thank you all for your support. We are currently at 300 likes. I'm excited for that. I'm super dope. Like, we started off at 0. I know when I changed my name from Jeff Campbell to Undercard and Boxing, people were like, yo, who's that guy? And then people realized that it was me, and then started really showing support and showing love. So let's go to the Boots versus Villa. Now, there's some prelim cards that are on YouTube, and then there's some undercard fights, which will be, I believe, on Showtime. So you have Dwight Fleming versus Henry Rivera, 4-round super welterweight. Very quick fight. You have Steve Torres versus James Edwards, 6-round heavyweight fights. Steve Edwards is a good upcoming prospect. One second. Thank you guys for tapping in with me really early in the morning. Means a lot for you guys to be here, be in the chat, making the comments, talking to me. So yeah, Steve Torres is going to be fighting James Edwards, 6-round heavyweight fight. You have Aaron Carduno versus William Townsend, 8-round middleweight fight. So the fights on the undercard 4, 6, and 8, they won't take up a lot of the time. What the meat and potatoes is the 3-fight main card between Edwin De Los Santos versus Joseph Adorno, 10-round light heavyweight fight. Adorno, who has been said to has been calling for all the top guys, and that no one will fight him. I believe he has 1 loss on his record. Edwin De Los Santos, who will also, I believe, have 1 loss, considers to be the boogeyman at lightweight, saying that he's called out all the top guys and no one will fight him. He gets a chance to prove himself against a sturdy opponent. His last fight, I believe, was El Rayo. Since then, he's been out the ring where he knocked El Rayo out on 1 day's notice. I wanted to see if I can. Let me see if I can do it here. 1 second. 1 second. I'm still here. I'm still here. One second. I wanted to see Joseph Adorno's record and see who he has fought, because he's walking into the ring with a lot of confidence. And 1 second. Bonos for Fugo. Salute, my brother. How are you? Good morning. Yes, we talking boxing early in the morning. We just cooking on some of the undercard fights. So my computer's acting really slow. So I'm trying to bring it up. Just wanted to see who Joseph Adorno had faced, because he's walking into the ring with a lot of confidence, stating that a lot of people haven't given him his opportunity. I think he's at his natural weight, which is 135. And Edwin De Los Santos, who feels as if no one will give him another opportunity since he went into the ring on 1 day's notice and knocked out El Rayo, gets another chance on Showtime to prove, to see if he is really the boogeyman or if he does punch as hard as he does. So as the co-main event, you have Yoviles Gomez versus Marquise Taylor. This is a 10-round junior middleweight fight. Marquise Taylor is the underdog with 1 loss. Yoel Gomez, who's been off for a while, I believe he's 5-0. Looking in the wrong places. 1 second. I can give you guys their records. We could look at some familiar opponents. Okay. All right. So Marquise Taylor is 13-1-2. Yoviles Gomez is 6-0, so which is a real big step up for him in competition. Joseph Adorno is actually 17-2-2, and Edwin De Los Santos is 12-1. So a lot of good fights. So you have 4 prelim fights, and then you have 3 main cards. The prelim will be shown on YouTube, and then once the YouTube portion is finished, then the 3 main fight card will be on Showtime, which you guys can download and get free for 3 months. So in the main event, you have Jerron Boots Ennis versus Roman Villa. Villa is 26-1. Boots is 30-0. This is for the IBF interim title. So I want to just give a quick breakdown on how I see this fight happen. I've been telling everyone it's going to probably be a wash, a knockout, but I just have a feeling like this is going to be a lot more difficult fight than we expect, only because I believe Villa can take a punch from the best of them. He's not a small dude in itself. He made weight pretty comfortably, and he is fighting like he has nothing to lose, because in another fight, like he did with Speedy Rashidi, he had nothing to lose. Yes, his style is come forward, but I don't see him coming forward and just throwing wild punches. I see him coming forward and trying to box with an elite boxer. And yes, Boots can sting him with a couple of shots, but if he doesn't put him down in the first or second round, I think it might boost Villa's confidence to say that, this guy may not be able to hurt me the way that he thinks, and I can just keep coming and coming and coming after him, and hopefully Villa might think that he's going to fade. I listened to Bozy Ennis speak about this fight and state hopefully Villa is the type of fighter that's going to bring something out of Jerron Boots Ennis because we haven't seen the best of him. Um, I still think the fight ends in TKO, but I think it takes a little bit longer than the boxing public has sees it, only because Villa just has an unrelenting. Even if he gets knocked down, I don't think he's just going to fold him, pack himself up, and quit. I don't think if he's getting hit with a million body shots that he's just gonna fall down and say, "Okay, I'm good for the night. I've already gotten paid. I'm out." I think he has something in him that's just gonna allow him to just keep coming and coming and coming. Um, he eventually may get stopped, or accumulation of punches where he's being punched on so much that either the ref steps in and stops the bout, or his corner says that this guy's taking too much of a hellacious beating and eventually stops the fight. So that's how I see the fight going. I don't see it as a walkover. I know that Villa is tailor made, some say, for Boots, but it doesn't mean he lacks the ability to box. Have I seen him box? No. But more times than not, whenever an opponent goes up against Jerron Boots Ennis, their fighting style change. Just look at Karen. Karen was a come forward guy who threw a lot of punches, who was like right in your face from the videos that I was watching of him. As soon as he began to fight, well, when he signed up to fight Boots, his strategy changed, his mental changed, his he changed pretty much, and just decided to play defense all the time as opposed to being on offense. He did try to throw some punches, but never was in the pocket long enough to what you call it to make any of those punches count. He sat down on none of his punches. So that's how I see the main event going. I think with these two fight cards back to back, I'm really sad about the Ortiz versus Stanionis. Like I kept saying to people who would listen, I think that Stanionis was going to edge Virgil Ortiz because he has both boxing skills and he can bang with the best of them. Um, but I'm grateful for boxing for giving us these two fight cards. Yesterday we had Diego Pacheco, who as soon as he won his last fight, called out Berlanga. They're both at 168. They're both over at the zone. One is 19-0. The other one is 21-0. Um, that would be a good fight. Mexico versus Puerto Rico, which is something that Berlanga has been speaking about. Diego, of them, is the better boxer with more skills, with more. You can tell like he places his shots. He's been knocking out a lot of the people he's been facing, but he isn't just running in and throwing punches. He's setting guys up. He's, 1, 2, 3, 4, body shots, head shots. If he gets a guy hurt, you see how much effort he puts in to make sure that guy stays down. I think it's a good fight. Is it just two more prospects going against each other? Absolutely. But once again, you can't have guys over at the same side of the street. If anyone wants to hit the link, it's right there in the chat. Just to come up, we talk boxing, whatever you guys want to talk about. That covers the two cards for today. Once the zone card starts a little earlier, it starts at 7. The Showtime card or the Showtime part will be on at 9:30. The prelims will probably be an hour earlier on YouTube. What I like to do is set my reminder on YouTube. You can go to Showtime YouTube, and they'll probably have the prelims already there. They'll have Boots and Villa, and they'll say prelims. You can set your notifications for that. So when the prelims start, which is just some of the undercard fighters, they're not going to be going a lot of rounds, so you have to catch it if you want to see what's going on. Also on that card, and this is what I say about PBC producing people who are going to be in business. Boots Ennis, the main event fighter, has his own fighter on the prelim, Ishmael Muhammad. He's 1-0 versus Parker Buno, who's 0-1. It's 4-3, so 4 rounds, 3 minutes. He is signed to Boots Promotional Company. So Boots is now what you would call Errol Spence, where he has his own fighter under his own promotional company, and he's also fighting on the same card as him. So that to me is just showing that whether you're going to be in boxing for a good time, for a long time, the best thing you can do for yourself is create a business, create an avenue of extra revenue. Now you're going to get paid off the fighter that you're adding to the card. Now that fighter becomes big. You're now getting a piece. You have, like I said, you have Frank Martin fighting next week. That's Errol Spence's fighter. So we get to see Derek James July 15th and see if he can create a master plan for the likes of Frank Martin. If anyone wants to hit the link, it's right there in the description. Please like and subscribe. If anyone wants to donate to the channel, the Cash App is floating across the screen. Yeah, I have not yet been monetized. We're at 300 sub count right now. The goal is 500. Let's see, what else do we want to talk about? Anything in the rumor report mill that anyone wants to discuss? Um, like I said, both Davids, according to Samson Leskowitz, have stated that they have agreed to fight, whether it's October or September. I think that's good for the sport of boxing. What else? I think Bottle Jack 3 weeks away until Spence versus Crawford on Showtime pay-per-view. I do my breakdown the week of the fight, so you also have Stephen Fulton making his way to Japan, either now or recently. There was also videos of Ryan Garcia in the gym with Derek James as they're working on throwing 1, 2, 3. But it's funny, as you're watching it, you're seeing that Ryan's still dropping that right hand, which just shows that habits are easy to get and very hard to break. So it looks like Shakur Stevenson was in camp with Terrence Crawford. I think that's a good sign. He did 6 rounds together. Shakur's trying to stay sharp. August 12th is loaded. Yeah, that's a good fight card. Oh, wow. Looks like we have the return of Gary Antoine Russell versus Kent Cruz, the fight he pulled out for with an injury. Nice. Twitter is one of the best places to go for information. Anyone wants to hit the link? I know it's early. It's 8:30 now. We're just gonna keep cooking. Um, yeah. So Isaac Pitbull Cruz is trying to win his next fight. Is trying to win his next fight. Off topic, but what up with F.A. Ajagbe next opponent? You know, Mike Kirkland, I haven't heard a single thing about F.A. Ajagbe. I thought a good fight for him would be Jared Big Baby Anderson, but Big Baby Anderson is coming back in August versus his original opponent. Um, I forgot his name. It's hard to pronounce, but he is going to rematch the guy who he was originally supposed to fight in his hometown fight, the guy who couldn't get his visa. That's who Jared Big Baby Anderson is going to fight. Thing has been very, very limited with putting out fight cards, in my opinion. I haven't heard any type of whispers. I haven't heard any type of things put together. So hopefully, we can get some update. F.A. Ajagbe has been on the shelf ever since he beat Steven Shaw. I believe that was his last fight. So, I mean, I would definitely like to see him back in the ring. It seems as if Top Rank has just been signing opponents, signing the likes of, Richard Torres. Like, there's just a lot of heavyweights over in the stable, and if none of them are going to fight each other, then I don't know. I don't know really what's going to go on. R.I.P. to July 7th. That was yesterday, right? Yesterday. R.I.P. to Emmanuel Stewart. Great boxing mind. Can't really put that past him. You also have phase two is sold up. So you also have Joshua versus Dillian White. That's going to be for I believe August 12th. Salute Skills from New Orleans, my brother. How you doing, sir? How you doing? How you doing, Skills? Yeah, there's also a rumor. So I guess we've dealt with some of the things that are uh, are already documented, but it seems that Tyson Fury says that he's going to be fighting Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou is an MMA fighter, and Fury. Like I said, it's not. I don't think it's just him that's bad for boxing. I think it's the sport of boxing allowing him to just. Why hasn't a mandatory been ordered for Tyson Fury? His last fight was what, a year and a half ago versus Dillian White. I thought that the belts have to be fought for on a yearly basis. I know that the WBC tried to put together a title eliminator between Andy Ruiz and Deontay Wilder for Tyson Fury mandatory, but there's definitely guys in the ranking system that can definitely. Yeah, the voices in the building, man. The voices hit. And even Devin Haney saying that he's open to a Loma rematch in the event that the money makes sense. So that means if what you call it, yeah, and I think we guys are gonna see Conor Ben back in the gym soon. Ryan Garcia says he'll be back in the ring in August. Skills from New Orleans. Complexion for the protection, absolutely. But I'm going to give them a pass because recently in the article they're stating that they're not going to strip Jamal Charlo of his WBC belt, saying that the belts are in motion. The fact that you have Carlos Adames as the interim champion and he's fighting, they're saying that that is great for the sport of boxing. I think Jamal has given enough reason or rhyme to why things are the way they are. And maybe he should be put in recess and someone should fight for the belt. But if he's going to come back at 160 and maybe like if he goes up to 168 and fights the likes of like a Boo Boo Andre or Caleb Plant, then yeah, he should relinquish that belt and allow someone to become champion at that weight division. But if he plans to stay at 160 and maybe he wants to go for undisputed, maybe he wants to start unifying or doing some unification with those belts. I don't know. So Joe Cordina has been expressing frustration with the likes of Eddie Hearn because he stated he wanted the unification fight. Versus O'Shaquie Foster, someone that I thought was going over to Matchroom to make that fight, but it seems that O'Shaquie Foster is going to be fighting his mandatory for the WBC. I don't know the exact name or which network it's going to be on, but we'll see. Joe Cordina is very frustrated with Matchroom because it's like, why am I not getting the fights that I've asked for? I've given you guys the names. I have the other belt. That's a great unification fight. It can be in my hometown, but Eddie Hearn always does what's best for him, not what's best for the fighters. Let's see what else is going on. Anybody want to hit the chat link? It's right here. Come up, we can talk about a lot of different news. I haven't yet, Mike. I haven't heard anything about, especially Fury should be a champion reset. It's now starting to deny others any opportunity. Those who care about belts. Facts. I agree with you, Skills from New Orleans, because it's not like he hasn't. He's been in like 2 to 3 negotiations for a fight and still hasn't made it happen. Like how long are we gonna just sit around while Tyson Fury pretty much holds that one belt hostage and literally fights. I mean, every 3 months, it's like announcement coming, announcement. It's like okay, like the only announcement I want to hear from him is that he's retired. I'm stepping away from the sport of boxing. You guys are way too toxic. You guys ask way too much of me. I'm done with boxing. Here goes the belt. Let's see who wants to fight for it. If we can get Deontay Wilder back that WBC belt, and then have the undisputed fight that we want with Alexander Usyk versus Wilder, tell me that wouldn't be amazing for the sport of boxing. The boxer versus the puncher, correct. Salute. I think that would be amazing if it happened. Yeah, so I mean that's all I got for y'all. I usually come on here in the morning, do an hour live. We're gonna stay for the hour mark. We went over some of the rumor reports. We went over some of the things happening in the sport of boxing, fights that are, let's just say, not happened yet, but will in the future. Just happy for the state of boxing because we don't just have the immediate cards. We don't just have the big names. We have things happening over and over, and that's why boxing is at a good place because we're getting fights that we want. We're also getting, call me weird, but I want to see Wilder Fury 4 without the horsehair gloves. Ugh. I mean, would he even take something like that, Skills? What are the chances that he takes a fight like that? Have we known him to be a man of character where he would sign himself up for that? Bro, like he was down on the canvas, 6 times versus Wilder? The effect that man has done to his body, I don't think it's likely that he voluntarily signs up for a 4th fight. I think he's made so much money too, him and Daniel Canahan, that more than likely he doesn't need the sport of boxing. If you notice, he's an attention whore. Sorry to say it like that, but what he just likes is being relevant, being someone to be talked about. He likes being needed. So the problem right now is that Tyson Fury knows by holding on to this one belt, it allows me to stay in these conversations because I guarantee you, if he doesn't have that belt, he's not in the sport of boxing anymore. He's doing something completely different, something with white lines and a dollar bill. But I don't want to put no jackets on nobody, even though he's admitted to doing that. I just don't think he stays in the sport of boxing. What he likes is the attention that it brings. And once that attention goes away, so will he. That's why everyone says to ignore the likes of Tyson Fury. Because once we're not feeding into his ego of wanting the attention, then eventually he'll just pack it up and be like, all right, you know what? You guys are not giving me what I require. I'm out. Yeah, me too. Correct. Before, though, a 4th fight with and I salute everyone for coming in. If you'd like to support the channel, the Cash App is floating on the bottom screen. I just salute to you guys. Please hit the like button. It's been a good cook. We really unfortunate for Stanionis versus Ortiz being canceled. I was like, of all the fights of this weekend, that fight to me, because I finally was going to get to see. Let's see what Mike Kirk. Fury's a cheater, but he's a game cheater. He got up everything like Joe Frazier. Let me see. Fury's a cheater, but he's got game cheat. Got up everything like Joe. Yeah. Listen, he also had help. Don't forget that. I don't want to see AJ versus Wilder. Too predictable, and AJ mental remains questionable. Wilder versus everybody except AJ is good with me. So Skills, the AJ versus Wilder thing, bro. It is. I'm gonna choose my words wisely, but it's a money grab, bro. The biggest UK star versus the biggest American heavyweight star. You can see the contrast. You can see how that's gonna play. I don't care if they put it in Saudi Arabia at 1 o'clock in the morning. Got up like Joe. Get up. Yeah, I got you. I got you. I got what you were saying. Mike Kirkland. What you call it? Skills. So back to hold on. Skills. It's a money grab in one. It's two, the fight that we had to wait about 5 to 6 years for. They literally tried to curve and move and navigate Anthony Joshua away from this man, Deontay Wilder. All Wilder wants is his pound of flesh. And you can see it by how he's been stalking this guy down for that fight. Like he's willing to go to Saudi Arabia to sign with a different promotional company just to get this fight done. And if this fight does get done, to me, for what I'm hearing, I don't think Eddie Hearn will be involved. But Eddie Hearn has that lifetime contract with Anthony Joshua. So I don't know how anything gets done with Anthony Joshua without Eddie Hearn's blessing or signing off on it. But we'll see. It's a money grab. It's for the heavyweight division. That's the biggest money grab that you can make. Think about it. Usyk is not a very popular star. He is fighting in Poland, August 26th versus Daniel Dubois. Why is it in Poland? And which network is picking up that fight? Is it going to be on the Zone? Is it going to be on ESPN? Definitely ain't going to be on Showtime. What's the time difference in Poland? Is it like a day about? I don't even know these things. Let me check something. Hold on. I think Wilder wants that pound of flesh from Anthony Joshua, and then I think he'll be satisfied and he can retire from boxing. That's how I feel. Let's see. It's going to be on pay-per-view and TNT Sports. That's where Usyk and Daniel Dubois. Excuse me. I didn't even know that Usyk still has the IBO belt. Damn. He has the WBO, IBF, WBA, and the IBO heavyweight championship. And Tyson Fury wanted to give that guy 35%. You also have Beterbiev versus, what was that? Callum Smith. Oh my God, what a murder. You got Christian and Billy versus Damon Nicholson. I'm excited for that. Listen, Wilder just wants to get, wants to put some names on the chopping block and chop their head off and then work out of boxing, man. Making the most money he's made and pretty much set himself up for life. I think that's Deontay Wilder's plan. And I think he's going to execute that because think about it. Right now, for his tune-up fight, he can fight anyone. I would like to see a Otto Wallin versus Wilder, skilled boxer versus a puncher. Maybe that fight's a little too dangerous. I don't like Chris Arreola versus Wilder. I don't know. He can't go fight Charles Martin. He just fought. He's gonna be ready in August. That's a really quick turnaround. Like, who can Wilder fight in the interim to be on the same schedule as Anthony Joshua? Or maybe, like you said, he just doesn't take a tune-up fight, just waits for December so he can. I mean, I guarantee you the Saudis are probably going to pay him like 30 to 40 million, bro, to fight Joshua. That's a big bag. And if they put it on pay-per-view, the UK, America market, everyone's probably going to tune in for that fight because that's the fight we've all been waiting for. The press conference will be hilarious. Don't duck me. Don't run. Can't run no more. What you gonna do now? I'm here. I'm standing right in front of you. I just think that's great for the sport of boxing. And it might be the spark that the heavyweight division needs, even if these guys are now going to make that fight and then exit right out the back door after with all the money. Because now you can see what happens when the heavyweight champions or former champions get into the ring and a fight that the general public has been asking for finally takes place. And we get to see it, witness it with our own eyes and go, damn, those dudes is different. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what they do. Give it the spark, give their salutes, call out who's the next upcoming guy, and just go out the door and be like, all right, for the sport of boxing, you guys, the young kids now can take over. You know, you give the likes. You know, maybe you bring in Jared Anderson for sparring or something. I know he did that with Fury, but you get what I'm saying. Like you just dub whoever's going to be the next guy, and you just walk out the door. And I'm what you call it. I'm excited for the state of boxing because if we can get Wilder and Joshua at the end of the year, I think that bodes very well for boxing. Not because it's going to happen when we want it, but it's going to happen when money grab definitely. But my hopes for Wilder versus an undefeated what? Joe who? Oh yeah, my fault. Joe was essentially that dude. Yeah, the juggernaut, right? Yeah. And Zhang about to beat him up for a second time. They already on schedule for that fight too. This is why I love it. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, there's so many fights. Maybe Zhang versus Wilder, because Zhang can punch. And he's New Jersey strong, so you know we gotta rock with him. Zhang is from Bloomfield, New Jersey. I'm trying to walk to Whole Foods over there and see if I run into him for an interview, but I ain't catch him yet. But I'm gonna catch him. Maybe he's in training camp. That's maybe why I can't see him. But yeah, that would have been an amazing fight. Could he stand up to the likes of? And that's the thing. These guys over in the UK are getting beat before they eventually get over to the American soil to make that money or to make that big fight. And the reason is they're not testing themselves. Like, to me, Joshua versus Dillian White is a circle jerk. Part of my language for anyone watching this replay. But why would you rematch? There's nobody, no one that you can fight that would give you a different type of test, a different type of, a fight style. You can just go in and beat Dillian White the same way everyone's been beating Dillian White. Uppercut. You can throw it from the first round to the 12th round. He's susceptible to an uppercut every time. Why would you rematch somebody like that? Why would I pay to see a fight that I've already seen? What's going to be different this time? Dillian White, coming off of a knockout loss, gets to fight Anthony Joshua for money. Hold on, let me see. He resembles a character on Mike Tyson. Zhang. Yeah. But you know what's crazy? I haven't seen Zhang hit yet and hurt. He is, the way that his fighting style is, he's usually the one applying the pressure and throwing the punches. That left coming down the pipe versus Joe Joyce. Ooh, that was dangerous, bro. I'm watching that fight going, I think I had that fight as an upset. I think I was telling people that I had Zhang winning that fight. Don't quote me on that. Don't quote me. I don't think I want any money. But I definitely saw that fight was going to be an upset. And it eventually wasn't. I was like, okay, maybe know a little something about boxing. Maybe. Floyd Mayweather Sr. would be proud. And it's crazy just listening to people debate between Spence and Bud, saying that they watched 40 years of fighting and then say stuff like Spence doesn't fight going backwards. Spence doesn't, his jab it's a pawing jab. He just throws a jab. Oh, man, I just feel like it's easy to just say, I like who I like. I think he's going to win. And that's just what I'm going to stand on. Like, I think my guy's going to win because he's the better fighter. Who that? Jerome. I want to see Wilder Fury. Oh, my Lord. See what you've done, Skills from New Orleans. Salute to you, Jerome. Thanks for pulling up. 4? Where? I mean, remember, Fury can't leave the country. He's a fugitive. He's banned from travel. That's why he has to go to the UAE. Like, he can't come on this side no more because of his former dealings. I don't even know how they let Josh Taylor out. Maybe he's a cooperating witness, but I ain't gonna put no jackets on nobody. 6'9"? Wait, nah, I ain't saying nothing. But yeah, like where would that fight take place to maximize the money? See, Fury hasn't been doing what he's necessary to build, like, you know what I mean? They were just hugging each other and him calling him the man. And I don't know. it would definitely have to be up to Deontay Wilder if you would like to entertain something like that in a fight. Who that? Brock Howard, salute my brother. Yes, sir. Undercard and boxing, cooking from early in the morning. I don't know why I jumped up so early. Maybe I should just start my live at 8 because that seems more normal. But what happens is I don't want to intrude on everyone else going after. I know because I watch those other shows too. So if I'm live, I'm gonna be, you know what I mean? I don't want to pull people from. But yeah, we went over the 2 undercards. Fury versus Wilder 4. I'm thinking about it in my head. Give me a second. I don't know. If Wilder was up to doing it, then I guess I would support it. But how do we stop the man from cheating? Usyk, a.k.a. Michael Myers, beats them all, except an exceptional kid with a sledgehammer power puncher from good old Takalusa. That's right. I mean, what if they did that tournament in the in Saudi Arabia where you have Usyk versus Fury and you have Joshua versus Wilder, and then the winner of both fights fight each other, because if it plays out where Usyk beats Fury, he'll be undisputed, and if Wilder beats Joshua, then immediately he gets the fight for the undisputed title versus Usyk. Man, that'd be a great year of boxing. Absolutely, Jerome Boots and his fights tonight, 9 p.m., 9:30, Showtime. Download the app versus Roman Villa, 26-1 power puncher. This is going to be fireworks. I would pay $200 for something like that. Yeah. Oh man, that. Whew. Jerome, skills from New Orleans saying what's up. Yeah, man, I would pay $200 for something like that. Yeah, I mean, I would too. I think that would be great for the sport of boxing. But if they were able to pull that off, that would be amazing to see. That'd be a perfect example of style makes fights. Yeah. Woo. Listen, Boots doesn't have a walk in the park. He doesn't have someone who's just gonna, as soon as you hit him, is gonna fall over. I think that this is going to be an exciting fight. For everyone that's just joining the chat, Stanionis versus Ortiz is postponed, not canceled. So I guess they're not getting rid of the entire fight, being that it was a WBA ordered fight between Stanionis for his WBA regular belt versus Virgil Ortiz. They're postponing it once again, unless Ortiz tells everyone that he's no longer going to be competing at 147 and that he's moving up in weight, or he needs more time allocated to make weight. Yeah, that fight is postponed for right now. Let's see. I don't even care if the belt's on the line or not. I want to see Wilder get his get back on an even playing field. Sometimes you gotta let that go, Skills. You can't keep running somebody down trying to punch them back in the back of their head because they did it to you. Sometimes you gotta let go and let be. D for the win. What's good, G? How are you? Salute. Good morning. Good morning. Akelu. Man, they need to scrap that fight. Yeah, I know. But as you see, maybe there's just so much money tied up in Virgil Ortiz that they just keep trying to postpone it. You know, from Texas, he is. Let me put that link in the chatty chat. Anybody want to hit that link in the chatty chat? Maybe there's just a lot of money behind Virgil Ortiz where they're thinking that if they can somehow get this fight on the books, on the records, that he'll make a lot of money for the likes of San Antonio, because he's a Texas kid who has power, has cachet, and you know, maybe Jerry Jones is willing to open up Cowboy Stadium for, you know, him versus Boots. You get what I'm saying? Like, he has that type of cachet around him where they want him to be the next star. If you look at the Golden Boy stable, who is really their cash cow? It's not Jaime Munguia. He doesn't fight anyone that brings in, you know, that makes dollars and makes sense. Ryan Garcia is right now training in Texas with the likes of Derek James He's trying to find his way out of that contract. You see what's going on with them in court and how nasty it's getting. Virgil Ortiz is that guy right now. Young, 6 feet, all knockouts. There's a maybe the push, maybe the reason why he, it's the stress and the pressure that's being put on him by the likes of Golden Boy to eventually get him into the ring so he can, start making the money that they expect from him. But there's a lot of there's no longer any more like rumored fights. They're like fights that are on the docket but haven't yet been fully confirmed, like David Benavidez versus David Morrell. Samson Leskowitz said that that fight might take place in September or October. I think that's good for boxing. Some of the fights that are already set up. Golden Boy circling the drain right now. Yeah, bro. So something that you kind of pick, if you watch boxing and if you're enjoying boxing, something that you've seen, Golden Boy, fighters missing weight. Top rank, guys missing weight, fights having to be pulled out. Matchroom, rematch happening, and the guy who is the champion misses weight on the scale and loses his belts. When have you guys seen a PBC fight? Daniels is a PBC. Yeah, he is. He is a PBC fighter. Jose Diaz, salute, my brother. How you doing? Everyone, salute on my boat. I can only listen. Salute to everyone. Hey, man, catch a big tuna for me, brother. Catch the biggest tuna, man. I'm a pescatarian, so I eat fish. Pause. Yeah, Stanios is a PBC fighter, but when they mandated Akello, the WBA regular versus Virgil Ortiz, DAZN won the purse bid for that fight. So that's why he's over there. And honestly, if you think, I don't know, could that be a strategy too? Where they keep postponing the fight? Because think about it. Each time you're going through a training camp, the fact that it was this close to the day of the fight, that means Stanionis probably already cut weight and he was already on weight to make 147 to defend his belt. Then you cancel a fight. So now what happens? He has to go into another training camp. And this is just me being a conspiracy theorist saying that, what they're doing is trying to have Stanionis miss as many days as possible. So that way, when the fight does take place, he's drained or he's not his normal self because he's had 3 or 4 postponements before he actually got a chance to fight. I'm not saying that, but it seems as if he's locked into a contract with Golden Boy at the time and can't get a fight. Like, they didn't even try to find a replacement fighter. So now Stanionis does what? He just has to sit on the sidelines and wait until Virgil Ortiz gets himself situated to eventually come into the ring and fight me. That's not fair to the likes of Stanionis, who his last fight was what? Butayev? On, what was it, Spence versus Ugas? So if Spence been out the ring for a year and he hasn't fought since that undercard, he's about to be out the ring for 2 years. Virgil should go up because if he loses, his health conveniently acts as a built-in excuse. I want to see a healthy Ortiz, not a compromised version. The question is, how much weight should he go up? Should he go to 160? Should he go to 154? Is it the weight cut altogether? If I'm him, I'd never F with Virgil again. I mean, yeah, but it's mandated. It's the sanctioning bodies. When is the sanctioning? I wonder if he's getting paid, bro, because of all these postponements. Big Dose. I told you I was going to be up early, man. Up early, cooking, Big Dose. Salute. Guys, please like and subscribe to Big Dose and everyone else in the channel. We're each trying to grow. We're each trying to get to that plateau. Virgil should sign with PBC. He's not getting his proper exposure nor shine. Yeah, I mean, for a fight of this magnitude, right? Even before it was canceled, there was no promotion. There was no interviews. I didn't even know when. You know what's crazy? Not crazy. That's one of my favorite sayings. You know what's crazy? I didn't see any press conference. Even before he canceled, there was no press conference listed for that fight. But listen, Floyd Schofield, gets his homecoming fight in San Antonio. They've moved him to the headliner. You also have Jojo Diaz on the card. You also have Marlene Esparza doing a unification fight. She currently has the WBA and the WBC. She's fighting a young lady for the WBO title. So there's at least a title fight on the line. You have Floyd Schofield, upcoming prospect who states that he wants all the top guys. He is also the headline for this card. The DAZN card starts at 7 p.m. The prelims will probably be an hour later on YouTube, DAZN YouTube page. So, yeah, those what's up. Yeah, salute to everybody. And I thank you guys for pulling up with me this early in the morning. I think I should go from 8 to 9 because I know like at 10, you got my brother Fanon, who has been very helpful, very supportive to this channel. He's helped me grow. He's given me some advice. I've reached out to him for information. So, what I try not to do is bleed my live into his. I thank you to everyone that's pulled up. I'm gonna drop the link again if anyone wants to pull up. We want to talk something on an unrelated topic. You want to talk something that, because I don't know if I went over some stuff already. If anyone has any question about any upcoming fights, I'm here for it. Undercard and boxing, place to go for all fight updates. If you can't, where I do is I post most of the fights, the undercards, and where to watch in my community page. Most of the time when I post it on YouTube, sometimes it stays up there where people can see it. Other time it just doesn't go. I don't know why that is. But I'm going to try to be more consistent with putting out videos for the fight cards. Just because for people that love boxing, sometimes you don't even know a fight card is taking place because it's not given the right promotion. Like yesterday, we had Diego Pacheco, a 168-pounder who's trying to call out all the guys over on his side of the street, had a fight in Mexico. And it was the way he performed was excellent. Body shots, head shots. I think he was rocked in the fight. But when you see talent, you want to be able to follow it. You want to be able to witness it. You don't want to just watch the highlights of a guy and go, oh, okay, man, that looks like a good fight. You want to be able to witness it as he's progressing. So someone he called out who's both on the zone sides of the room is Diego Pacheco versus Berlanga. Mexico versus Puerto Rico. I think that's an amazing fight. I think Pacheco is a little bit more seasoned than Berlanga. You can tell by the way he throws his punches. He doesn't just walk guys down and throw wild shots. He's not just looking for a big right hand. He hits to the body, he hits to the head. He's very technical. So I think that'd be a great fight for the sport of boxing and for Matchroom, making more competitive fights, more guys who are at the same weight classes eventually going up and fighting one another. The sport of boxing is in a good place. I'm going to jump off. I want to tell everyone have a great morning. I will probably be hollering at y'all over on the other platforms. I thank you for coming over here. Let's see what Kello said. I heard you talking about GB fight, Golden Boy fight and missing weight. Yeah, this has to be JoJo's 4th or 5th time. Yeah, correct, bro. It's, to me, and that's what I'm saying. Like, but you see, JoJo recently re-signed a 3-fight deal with Golden Boy in DAZN. And correct, he's at lightweight and he's at 141. It wasn't even close. Move up. I know this is not a fight for any type of bell. There's no it's just pretty much stay busy fights. But if you're not going to be professional, like Zurdo Ramirez, the fight with Gabe Rosado, where Gabe had to literally pull out of the fight because the dude missed weight by so much that he literally couldn't fight him. That's embarrassing. When a guy does an entire training camp, and someone was saying, I heard whispers that maybe Virgil was just partying too hard and that's why he missed weight. I'm not going to put the jacket on. Yeah, see, absolutely, Mike Kirkland. We will definitely be seeing each other a little later. That Virgil may have been, not doing what he was supposed to, and that's why he had to pull out the fight. But I'm like, fights of this magnitude, when I see PBC putting on a card, whether it's the 3 main fights, I don't see much guys missing weight. I don't see much guys having that problem. Is trash. Shaking my head. How y'all both missing weight by over 3 pounds? Yeah, it's bad. It's correct. It's like they just want to get paid, and they know that I don't necessarily have to put my best foot forward to get that paycheck, because maybe it's already in their contract that they get. You know what I mean? Like I said, they're what's the word I'm looking for? They're fighting on a budget. You know, maybe there's just money allocated. Hey, listen, we're going to put you on a fight card. This is how much you're going to make. Just show up. Because if they were taking their business seriously, you're not going to miss weight over and over and over again. But I'm just going to hit y'all with the outro. Thank you for everyone that pulled up. It means a lot. And I'm going to hit you with that outro, and we out. See y'all a little later.
Sunday Showcase, made possible by a public service grant from the National Endowment for the Arts and Bristol Myers Company in association with its divisions.
Yeah. All rise, open your eyes, no need to explain. I got a homie from the east and I'ma tell you his name. Never hang around lames, that's a part of his game. And if you show deep respect, he'll show you the same. Jeff undercard boxing, shook the world when he came. A lot of cats is playing, but his hands are insane. You can get steamrolled if you stand in the way. He a yardie from Flatbush, you cowards his cat puss. We used to feud like Bishop and Q, but he'll fuck you up quick if I give him the cue. From the city of Midwood, the south central part of New York, next to Bensonhurst and Borough Park. If it's a problem, don't even say shit. Just face this when you come across the Bay Bridge. No tolerance for BS or fake kids. Your blood clot crying. Just stop trying. Is Jeff Undercard prepared for the assignment? He bringing a appliance so cowards can't fight it. He might yoke you up if he feels slighted. He's spreading out toxins. It's undercard boxing. Yeah. Mad love and respect to my brother, man. From the motherland, word 'em up.